Yes, a test. I hope you can hear me loud and clearly again. This is a live one. I'm hoping the microphone works, the camera works. Please give me thumbs up, put in the chat. I'm looking very sometimes, only sometimes, to the screen what you're gonna write. So, welcome first of all. I have to quick check if you can see the screen once I share the this one. Okay, I can share it. Nice. Okay, see it then? Yes, it works. Amazing. So, once again, welcome here. Please write down where you come from. And I did already ask you a question about if you're a beginner surfer or experienced surfer, it would be nice. Please put here in the chat, top chat, like, and put the live chat here. Hey, Maatje, Mark van Down. Hey, Mark is here. Amazing. Super cool. Yeah, leave a heart or leave a thumbs up if you can hear me loud and clearly. We go jump right into it in a second. But before we start, obviously, if you're new, please let me know in the chat if this is your first one or if you have watched already some live workshops. The cool thing about this, even if it's digital, even if I'm in South France, the cool thing of being live is you can ask questions. So every surf question you have in your mind or you don't understand, especially what we talk about today about different surfboard shapes, if you should buy a surfboard, what is important to know before you buy one, is it good for traveling, should you buy a wetsuit, this kind of stuff. We really get into shapes and understanding the surfboard shapes even more. So if this is the right topic, you are on the right place. I'm Daniel. I'm an ISA 2 surf coach. Together with Surf Companions, I founded together with Flo, of course, the Surf Companions books with the beautiful illustrations where you can learn surfing. But we also have online courses as well as surf retreats, like real retreats. If you hear some noise in the background, I am on the surf camp already because on Saturday the first guests are coming. But more to that at the end of this live workshop. If you're looking for more information, everything is on the Surf Companions website anyway. But I'm going to share my screen so you can see my iPad because I can draw some really cool stuff here. So it makes, and we're going to watch some videos about shapes. So let me know if you're a beginner surfer or intermediate in the chat. And I also want to know if this is your first time here in the live workshop. Please have in mind, I want to have it as interactive as possible. So if you have any questions, let me know and write down where you're from. It's always interesting. It's really international here, this channel. So first of all, welcome again. But today is all about surf shapes. We're gonna watch videos, what the different styles of the surf shapes are. Later, we'll discuss, is it handy to buy a surfboard? And if yes, which kind of surfboard is maybe good for you, depending on the style, where should you buy it, what you should look out for, and all those details I will give you in this live workshop. By the way, the comments are a bit not exactly at the right time. It takes like around a minute before I see them, so don't worry if I react immediately because I only see the thumb up from Mark still. So looking forward for more. By the way, do you hear me still? Like, is the sound clear and loud? Please also give me a thumbs up because it would be bad if I'm just talking and you hear nothing. By the way, if something goes wrong during this live call, please have in mind, just check your email box. I will send you immediately a new link. Okay, more than 5 people are online. First of all, grab your favorite drink and enjoy the ride. Maybe pen and paper or your surf companions, and then the team is making dinner, so it's really cool. So, layer number one, we have the first layer, and it says, before we go into the different shapes, what is actually surfboard shape? Surfboard shapes, as you can see here in the illustrations, we have from smaller shapes to bigger shapes. I will explain you really quick, like the categories of those different shapes. The first category you see here, we call the short board, and the short board is, let's have a look. We're going later into details how a short boarder surfs, but the first category is a short board. A short board. In the name, it's already in. It's a bit a shorter board. By the way, we watch the video later with style, makes you more understanding. The second one we call a mid-length. A mid-length is around, yeah, it starts from, you can have shorter mid-length, but around 7 feet. By the way, we are counting in feet, not in centimeters. And longer, this is what we call a mid-length board. And the next one would be a mini Malibu, because in mini Malibu, actually, um, this shape is the most popular one because of the beautiful soft wave there. That's why we call the shape there mini Malibu. That's why the name came from there. And in between here, we have actually another really interesting shape. We call it the fish. The fish is kind of really interesting shape. Why? It was actually before the shortboard. The fish was served originally as a knee board. So people were on their knees on a fish and served that kind of board. And then at the end, we have actually two more. By the way, those illustrations are out the book. We have obviously really long boards, longer boards, but there's a big difference in shape. We come to that in a second. But we have the classic longboard. By the way, from competition, everything above 9.0 is called longboard. And we have even a more special board, and that looks a bit like this. You might saw it really long as well, the same length or even longer than longboard, but we call it, because it's pointy at the nose and pointy at the tail, like a. Please let me know in the chat. No one is reacting so far. If you can hear me and see me clearly and understand. If I'm too fast, too loud, let me know in the chat. Give me a hard thumbs up or whatever, because then it says, yeah, then it shows me that you're still there with me. So the biggest one we call a gun. A gun is so different, and you won't see it in your local spot, I think, unless you surf big waves. We come to that in a moment. So you see those categories of surfboards, and we have shortboard, fish, mid-length, longboard, mini Malibu, and the gun. Every shape has different nuances, details, changes. You can shape in every category like so many different boards that would not, yeah, that would. Otherwise, I'm talking here for hours and hours. So I want to keep it clear and short. But what you have to know, and this is really important for you, especially buying a surfboard or looking at your own surfboards, you might have already your own surfboard, is the following. A shape itself, actually, the dimension, we call it, is really important to understand that here, this part down here, in a surfboard, you have actually you have the length of the board, obviously how long the board is. We call it the length. We have the width of the board. The width is really important. The thickness is important, like how thick actually the board is. So thickness. And now it comes, that's what you see, especially here, is the rocker. The rocker has a special function in your surfing. So when you have a really a high rocker, like a banana, woo, like a high rocker, it's way different if you would have almost no rocker in your board. So all those things together combined, so if you combine your length, your thickness, and your width, all those things together gives you some kind of, we call it volume. And the volume is measured in liters. In liters. By the way, please leave a comment. I have the feeling no one is there anymore, or if I'm still live, it says live. I hope the technique is working here. Please give me any kind of reaction. That would be nice. Because otherwise I'm just talking, nothing happens. Ah, you are. Perfect, Mark. Cool. Thanks, Mark. Amazing. So this is what we call the liters. If you have already your own surfboard, maybe Mark, you have one, there's always a number on your surfboard somewhere which says the liters, the volume, and also the other measurement. Especially good boards which are shaped by hand, which mostly all the surfboards are. Not every process anymore, but a lot of them are still hand shaped. You see those numbers on those boards. So the first one is usually the length. Usually you see, for example, 6.0. It's more like a short board. Then the next one is usually around, I would say, 19 or 19 and a half. Then we go really into details. This is what the width is, the thickness. Sometimes you see weird numbers like 258. That means like 2 inches and 5/8 of an inches thick, or 3 inches thick, the thickness, and all that together gives you a volume. And that volume is really important for you later for buying a board or understanding your board, because it gives you an estimate which kind of liters you surf. For example, I'm quite heavy. I'm 94 kilos, and I need, at least with my short boards, even with my fish here, is I need at least around about 40 liters. There I feel comfortable. There I need, there I know if the shape is 40 liters, I'm in the clear, you know. If I would drop down around 40, 35 liters in overall the shape, like in volume, I have to pedal harder. The wave has to have already some power. So have in mind that literage, that volume, gives you an estimate or an orientation for buying a board later. Give me a thumbs up if you understand that, because a lot of people just buy boards because of the length. But if you only look at the length, you can change so much with shapes. For example, here you can only make it the width of. I once had a short board from a Grom, was really narrow, only 18 width. So when you change only one variable, like width, thickness, you will end up with a different volume. So have in mind, combine all those things and come up with a volume. And the cool thing is, this is the first tip for you. If you go to the internet, all you have to do is put in volume calculator surfboard, and every surf brand, those are all shapes, by the way. For example, here Firewire has a volume calculator, and it's so easy nowadays. If you think, oh, this is kind of a cool brand, I don't know what I have to do. Yeah, then you only have to choose your weight. You say around, oh, advertising, kilograms. Where's kilos? Kilo on the left. For example, here I put on 93 kilos. Then choose your level, intermediate, calculate volume, and it will give around, like I said, around 40 liters, like an estimate. Um, this is so cool because if you go to any, yeah, obviously they recommend then their surf brands, their surfboards, but it's super nice to know. But before you know your own volume is, and this is my first tip to you, for you, is when you go surfing or you have already some surfing experience, it's depending on the waves you surf, but also um, where did you felt comfortable in your surfing? Which board? So my first tip for you is try a lot of boards. Try a lot of different boards. And then look at the boards. For example, you went on a surf trip, you have friends, and so on. Have, wait, oh, you cannot see it anymore. Huh? I'm still on the screen. Why I'm still on the screen? Wait a second. I have to change it now. I cannot switch anymore. Wait, I'm gonna show you. I have to mirror it again. The picture. Here we go. Sorry for that. Something wrong here. Wait a second. Sorry for that. Put the iPad in. Now we should be in the clear. So try a lot of different boards, because once you try a board which you're comfortable with, have a look at the liters. It gives you an estimate. Oh, I felt comfortable with the 7 feet mid length and it has around 50 liters. Then you go home or you looking for other boards. Have in mind, stay with those 50 liters because you felt comfortable with. Perfect. Obviously, it's a bit different when you go into longboarding, because longboards are really big and wide. There you have to more look at the length, and this is different in classic longboarding. That's why obviously I do a whole retreat in North Spain. But you can take this for your mid length, for your short board, for your fish, and so on. Hope you understood that. Perfect. Cool. So many people. Hey, wait, it's working. So now I want to go quick into shapes because the shapes are really important to understand. When we look at, for example, here we have a fish. And a fish surfboard is really unique because usually it has only two fins, like a twinny, and it's a different style. Different boards means different styles for different waves. I love to watch. There's one clip, you might watch it as well, from Rob Machado. Rob Machado is one of the stylists called, they also call him Mr. Smooth because he serves like his Go Fish, his shape, in France. Actually, it was in September, end of September here in France. Oh, it just looks so stylish. Let's have a look. Do advertising. It's a paraglider. Yes, the Go Fish. Let's have a look. A fish in general, of course, you can surf also a fish in higher waves, but look how smooth, how stylish, how speedy, how flowy you can surf with a classic fish. Of course, have in mind those are pros. Don't compare yourself with the pros. It's just nice to see and getting inspired by and the style and so on. But you see, the wave doesn't have to be so big. Even with that small board, fishes can be really tiny. My fish here is, for example, a 5'9", but it has 40 liters. You can have a 5'9" surfboard in the length, but only with 30 liters. You know what I mean? So have in mind, serve your volume. I know a lot of people think, oh, volume, volume. It's not all about volume. It gives you an estimate, like, but come on, this is stylish. So a fish in general, for you to know, is it changing now? Yes, is what kind of waves, the waves you're looking for. It's like smaller to medium waves. It's really handy to surf small to medium waves. You obviously can also go into higher, bigger waves, but it's more the skills or the, let's say, the style of a fish is more like skatey. They call it skatey because it's more skatey. It's not radical turns, which we see in a second, but it's a bit of skatey. It's flow, has a lot of speed. Yeah. So this is kind of the style of a twin fin surfboard. Leave a comment down below if you ever surf a classic twinny or if you ever want to. Leave a comment down below here in the comment section in the chat. I will see it. One of the other ones is actually a mid-length. Mid-length is so cool because I'm a big fan. I have actually this model. It's called a mid-length. I have it in 7.4 with 51 liters. And you can surf it with a center fin, but also as a twinny or as a 2+1, means like a mid-length fin. Have in mind, small tip, to put a mid-length fin into your mid-length, not a longboard fin. A lot of people put a big 9-inch longboard fin in. Doesn't make sense. It's too much. It's way too much. So have in mind, for mid-lengths, single fins, you have actually single fins for mid-length. Small tip for you. But this is one of my favorite boards. It's actually called the Midlength Crisis. Midlength Crisis from Picel. By the way, there's no affiliate here or something. I just really give my personal advice. If you have any questions, by the way, put in the chat. But let's see how stylish or different. We just saw small, skatey, flowy, speedy Rob Machado on a twin fin. Now look at a different style. When we watch one of the most stylish surfers, especially with mid-length, Mikey February, you might saw him already. It's just a small clip. Advertising. Come on, this is so much advertising. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Oh, there's advertising for surfing. How cool is this? Okay. This is a mid-length, for example. This board is at least 7.0 or 7.2 long, but have a look at the overall style of his surfing. How quick he is, how the turns are really radical. No, the mid-length, the power of a mid-length comes in of a big wall, which is not as hollow. Of course, you can also go like this, like barreling, but a mid-length is more cruisy, longer turns. It's a longer board, so it takes a longer time to turn. So have a look at his style, but the glide and the takeoff is so easy because you have more volume and more length. You come earlier into the wave. Boom, a nice carve. You know what I mean? So this style is already so much different than compared to the other ones. Obviously, so the big plus advantage of the style of a mid-length is actually big walls, big drawn out turns, easy to paddle. So you catch a lot of waves, which is amazing because we want to catch a lot of waves to have more fun. Some I can even duck dive this. It's depending on the length, but it's more same as a fish, but a fish is more skatey and it's not as fast. It just takes a bit more time. Of course, you can generate speed, but it's not as fast as a big twinny with keel fins. Yeah. So you saw the style. By the way, ask yourself during this live workshop, what is the best style for you? Have a look. What we also have is obviously like a big longboard. A longboard characteristics, obviously, as you see here, surfing with Josie Prendergast. Looks really stylish. Longboarding here. Yeah, this is more looking at the beach, blah blah. Okay, you see already that the waves, the perfect waves for longboarding, classic longboarding, are small, smooth waves. They're going a bit like this, like they're breaking like this, and there you walk to the front, you walk to the back, you turn. Classic longboarding. Look, hang five because five toes are on the nose. Then you walk backwards. Also, the body is totally different. The stance. I did a whole live workshop about that. But have in mind, longboarding is such a different style. That's why I did a longboard retreat in North Spain. But you see, the wave is still peeling. It's still running, still smooth, and even that one, the wave is more like sideways, like this. It's not really a dumping wave. And this is the style you see in classic longboarding, walking to the front, to the back. You have time, even no leash. Look at this. It's just beautiful. So this is a different, but I still have one more, two more. But the classic longboarding, the style is actually, there's a nice saying in longboarding, it has to look boring. So you chill so much that you almost like bored. So have in mind the style is easy, relaxed. But don't it's doesn't mean it's easy to surf. The technique is actually really I was so surprised when I started like 5 years ago. I changed or I surf still fish, mid-length and longboard, but I was so surprised how technical it is to really do the cross step. You stand here, you do the first cross step here, then to the nose. It's really technical to have in mind or to turn it because the turning happens at the base. You have four parts and so on. So have in mind, if you really want to learn it, come obviously to the retreats, but I still have two shapes. And one of the shapes are obviously the one and only, the goat. It's old. This was just released 1 month ago. Going to Aldi. Years old. Oh, yeah, we are still live. We're still live, right? Okay, I hope there was a connection right now. Here, Kelly Slater. You see, as Kelly Slater, shortboarding is way different. It's way different. Boom, goes out, bam. It was a flat cutback, speed, and he's going for the air. And for the air. Whoosh. He's not landing. But you see difference in shortboarding. In shortboarding itself, all the shapes, of course, there are a million different shapes, but it's depending on the style. If this is your style, obviously you should go for shortboarding. Boom. If you like this kind of surfing. If you like more like smooth, skatey with speed, you should go for fish. If you like big, drawn out turns, you should go for mid-length. If you like nose riding, like walking to the front, to the back, turning back, walking to the front and back, then this is your style. Then you're welcome. You're a classic longboarder. I still have one. And this is one you probably won't surf, but it's called a gun. A gun is for really big surf. Look at this. This is Robin, kom her. Robin, kom her. Nien, kan je even? Kijk, and this is big wave surfing. And big wave surfing means we need a gun. You see how long this board is? But it's still narrow to the front and narrow to the back. Here you see how tall they are, but narrow on the top. Someone with a gun in your local surf spot, which is actually only chest high, then he has the total wrong shape. I don't know. Leave a comment if this is your surfing goal. This is crazy. Okay, have in mind those are the different styles. Now we talked about shapes and styles, but I also want to show you the advantage and disadvantages of buying a surfboard or not buying a surfboard. So the question here is buying your own surfboard handy, or is it actually something which can hold you back? I will give you the overall pros and cons, and then I give you my personal opinion as well. So you might have already your own surfboard. If you have your own surfboard, let me know what surfboard you have, which surfboard you're surfing right now. If you don't have your own surfboard and thinking about buying one, then that's also fine. Write it in the comment in the live chat. So let's start with I'm a positive person, but let's start with the cons. So the cons of buying your own surfboard is, yeah, it costs a little bit of money. Okay, I'm not writing this down, but the cons is you're only stuck with one board usually, unless you buy 10 at one. But usually when you travel, you have one or maximum two boards. The thing is, you are stuck with one board. So why I say it's a negative thing to only have one board? Imagine you come to a surf camp or a surf house and they have a lot of boards lying around. The day you come and the waves are beautiful, tiny and small, you can grab a nice mid-length or even a longboard there to have the right board for the right conditions. If a few days later a big swell comes and it's suddenly bigger, you can grab maybe there a nice fish or a short board, yeah, a shorter board. So you can apply the right equipment for the right waves. But if you only buy one surfboard, you are stuck. And not stuck, I mean, you are really unflexible. For example, if there are tiny, beautiful waves and you only have one board, then you obviously can only surf in those conditions. Because trust me, I saw so many people out there, they have one short board, and a lot of in Europe, sometimes it happens that the wave is a bit smaller and they're still out there paddling for their lives with their short board because they don't have another board. So if you have only one board and you want to buy one board, at least buy a surfboard which you have the most waves and the most fun of it. So the bit negative thing is if you only buy one board, you're a bit limited. Hello, I'm a bit late. Hey, Vanessa is a bit late. Don't worry, Vanessa. By the way, you can also watch the replay, the beginning part after this. But cool that you joined, Vanessa. So we're talking about right now about buying your own surfboard. Is it handy or not? So the con is if you only buy one board because one short board and you have 1 or 2 weeks holidays and you go to a spot and you're a bit unlucky or at that moment the waves are quite tiny, then you're stuck with one board. So the cool thing is with surf camps or retreats, what I host, we have a lot of boards and you can try all of them. So we are adjusting actually to the waves instead of just saying, I have this board, now I have to go surfing. It's the only board I have. So have in mind when there's a beautiful summer day, only hip high wave, I would suggest actually to rent a board for that day. Go there and say, hey, do you have a nice soft top, 8.0 soft tops? I know I will catch a lot of waves. Why not? Boom. So buying only one board is not so handy in case, and that's really important, how you travel. So a cons of buying a board is traveling, because if you go a lot of with airplanes, like flying, so on airports, you have to protect your boards like really, really good, because put foam around it, put it in a nice travel bag. So you have a bit of a hustle with traveling. Makes sense. If you go to Indonesia, like a random island, you have to wait for your surfboard. Hopefully, it's not getting lost. Hopefully, it's not damaged. So this can be a problem. But the advantage is the pro, especially if you're hands up for yourself, if you're an advanced surfer and you know your shapes and you know your surfboard, this is your surfboard. Obviously, you want to bring it. So, pro is of buying a surfboard that it's your own. You know it. You know the shape. You know in which waves they're working and so on. So having your own board is obviously amazing. I love my board, but buy the right board. This is really important. Buy the right board. Before we come there, I give you another tip, my personal one, in a few minutes. Perfect. By the way, guys, if you have any questions in between, if I'm too quick, too loud, too soft, let me know. This is what makes it so special. Otherwise, I would make a YouTube video. But I love the real connection here. So the con is, yeah, it costs a bit of money, doesn't matter, but the traveling is always a little bit of a hustle. So it's really depending on your travel. By the way, there's more pros. I will come to that, but it's depending on your travel habits. If you're traveling with your van, for example, like me here, I have a van. I have 5 boards, and the cool thing is, I really grab when it's tiny, I grab my longboard. When it's nice and fishy, I grab my fish. When it's a perfect mid-length, big face, I grab my mid-length, and so on. But this is more like a luxury thing. If you live really close to the beach, to your surf spot, and you know how the conditions change so much, then obviously you have also a lot of boards in your garage. Makes sense. But if you're a traveler and you only travel 1 to, let's say, 4 weeks a year, I would not even suggest it, because you don't surf so much and you want to have the most fun in those weeks you travel. So the cool thing is there are more and more premium rentals, even premium boards they have. Instead of you have to buy it, you can rent it there. Longboards, I know a lot of people um, all around Europe, around the world, they're starting in the surf shops to also give you the opportunity to try out a fish and so on. So have in mind, it's really depending on your traveling, I would say. If you're not sure, you can also write me a direct DM, what I would suggest you. But this is more like a buyer's guide today. So I give you also a buyer's guide how to buy a surfboard and what you have to look out for, what kind of materials, what kind of, and where you can buy it. So the cons, have in mind, you have to take care. Everything you own owns you. So you have to repair it sometimes. If you rent it, by the way, small tip, if you rent a surfboard or you even try out a surfboard from your friend and by accident you damage it outside the water, not during, because, or you say that your insurance it was outside the water. If you damage, you obviously have insurance when you damage other goods, so reliability insurance, usually they cover damages like this. So have in mind, if you even surf boards from your friends and you damage them outside of the water, have in mind, usually your insurance, your normal insurance covers those tiny things as well. Have in mind some pro tips here, because it happens sometimes to friends and one time to me. Be fair with it. It happens, yeah, but hopefully everyone stays safe. You as well. So buying your own surfboard is important before you buy it. This is my biggest tip for you. Before you buy it, try as many boards as you can. Different shapes and different conditions. How do you do it? Ask friends. Go to surf camps. Rent different surfboards. Before I bought my 9/8 longboard, which is quite expensive, I come to that in a second. I tried with premium rentals like a lot of different lengths, different shapes. After a while, I knew, okay, this is my shape, this is what I need. I suggest really do that before you do it. Because when I was younger with surfing, I just bought boards because some people online they recommended this is the shape of the year. Obviously, every surfer, every German surfer had the Hypto Crypto from Hayden Shapes. Haha, you probably as well. Um, because it's such a popular board, but it was not the right board for me. Later, I figured out, oh, this shape doesn't work. I didn't catch so many waves, but I was never really truly honest with myself. So be honest with yourself. Do I catch a lot of waves? Does it feel good with pedaling? Can I turn the board? It feels stuck. Can I duck dive it? And so on. So before you buy one, try a lot of boards. Yeah, a lot. I'm so bad with writing. Try a lot of board before you do it. But when you do it, and now it comes, be really clear with your level. A lot of people say like, oh yeah, I'm ready now for a hard top. Yeah, maybe I do another live workshop. When are you really ready for a hard top? But have in mind, when you think of buying a surfboard, don't buy it online. Don't buy it just online. Go to your local surf shop and ask for advice. Have the board in your hands. How does it look like? Usually they have the same shape and different lengths. Have it under your arm. If it's premium rental, try it out. The cool thing is some surf shops do it like this. They premium rental like a fish, a mid-length, a shape you like, the style you like, and it costs usually around 20 to 30 euros a day for the whole day. But if you decide to buy this board, usually they put the rental price which you rented off the buying price, which is super cool. Um, so have in mind there are a lot of options to buy it. But when you buy it, have in mind a short board, a really good hand-shaped board. They start around, yeah, hand-shaped glass 500 to 700 euros. This is quite, yeah, 800 euros shapes, short boards. I mean, really glassed shapes. You pay around this money. It's quite, it's not cheap, you know, it's not a cheap sport. Then you need a leash, you need fins, you need maybe a tail pad, depending on which shape you have, and so on. When you look at longboards, yeah, locks, we call them because they're locks, big locks, you go at least 1,000 euros. Mine was even more expensive because it's from a really, really good shaper out North Spain, Norte de España. So I don't tell you, but more than 1,000 euros before you buy that. You really have to know what you buy. You don't want to buy it and sell it every month. You're like, oh, it's not really working. Selling it. Oh, so please trust me. My personal tip for you is try a lot of shapes. By the way, it's my dog. 1,000 euros. Can you hear me loud and clearly? By the way, this I hope this microphone, everything works here. It takes me so much time to set it up. By the way, I'm outside here in the surf camp already. Maybe I'll show you after this small little. So wait this again. So mid-length, a lock is around 1,000 euros. What I suggest to you, and this is to be honest, most of my students, I would recommend a shape, not only the shape, but the material like this. Nowadays, you want to feel obviously safe. You want to catch a lot of waves. And this is, I'm really surprised actually, but I love it that the surf industry and the shapers are going into this direction. The soft tops, like a few years ago, were horrible, horrible. But now you have a hybrid. You have actually the core of a board like this. It looks like a normal soft top. It's not. It's not. The core is actually like a normal foam from a normal hard top. The core is the same. It's the absolute same. But the outside is a little bit softer. Like the layer outside, it's not hard glass with epoxy of polyester, but it's a softer cover. And the cool thing is, you see it here, you can put in normal fins. So the turning will be almost as normal as hard tops, but you feel a bit safer for yourself, but also for other surfers, because it's a little bit softer. It's not a proper soft top board. It's called soft top, but there is something in between. And this kind of shape, I would recommend a lot of my students. Only you're really advanced and you know your shape. I coach obviously online. Yeah, some of them, of course, they should go hard top. But I would say if you're starting to catching green waves or you want to transition to a green wave, then this is a shape. And the cool thing is, it's around 400 euros. It's way cheaper. And to destroy this kind of surfboard takes way longer than a hardtop. Hardtop, you come to a corner, boom, it's broken. But a soft top you it can take a lot of things, on the side and down and so on. So have in mind, it's a bit cheaper, it's a bit more robust into your car and so on, and you can catch a lot of weight. Obviously, you have different lengths and different shapes as well, but have in mind, this is my biggest tip for you. So if you go into buying your own surf top or shape, then I would recommend something like this. Softtech is a good brand, but I'm not suggesting this in particular. There are a lot of good brands out there. So buying your own surfboard, once again, like a summary, is really depending of your travel and your surfing habits. Having your own surfboard is obviously magical. You can put it on the wall in your van, you hug it, you wax it, even if you're not surfing. So there's something magical with it. But have in mind, my personal advice to you is, what is this? Yeah, here are some tips for buying and selling. Have in mind, even Mick Fanning, one of really good surfers, also 3 times world champion, said, and they surf, have in mind, pro surfers, they surf a lot of boards, a lot. I mean, huge. This is crazy. One time, Al Merrick shaped the board for Rob Machado in Bali within 1 day, which is crazy fast. And then, no, it took him 2 or 3 days, I think, to shape it and to glass it. He gave it to Rob Machado. He took one wave and broke it. And Al Merrick was at the beach. That was a nice video of him. And he thought, what the hell? But Rob Machado said it later because he also became a shaper. Um, that he never really appreciated shapers until he did the whole step and process. I always compare really good shapers like Ollivander with the wand. Every wand is different. Every shape is special, different, works or not works. But have in mind the magic board for yourself, which you feel totally lined. It's like, this is my board. I can surf it in every condition. Even even make perfect. Even Mick Fanning says, in your life you might get 1 or 2 boards, but that's it. And he surfs a lot of boards. I hope you understand. But I had once a magic board underneath me. I broke it in a big surf. But maybe you think back once you have a board like this and you paddle and you surf and everything works. You will hopefully remember my words, because those magical moments in surfing, and there are a lot of them, they will happen. But have in mind, not every board you buy will be like, oh, the magic board, which is because you will develop as a surfer. So you will become better. You can do stuff on soft tops later, which you're like, whoa, it, you know what I mean? So even me, I go sometimes on soft tops. I love to play around because surfing is there to enjoy. Tips for buying and selling is the first. If you buy a surfboard, have in mind there are second-hand boards. So you don't have to spend 6, 7, 800 euros immediately. You can go to eBay. Every country has their own space to sell it. There are even Facebook groups for it. So I would check out Facebook groups. For example, Secondhand Surf. There's a really big group, 25,000 people in the Facebook group, and you can ask so many shapes. So Facebook groups, sometimes on Instagram, but Instagram not so much. But my tip for you is to go on those eBay ones. In Holland, this is Marktplaats. In Germany, it's eBay, Kleinanzeigen. In Spain, it's Wallapop. Wallapop. There are all apps for it, or just Google it. It's like, hey, what is the eBay or the equivalent? Building up is so tense. My energy level. Sorry for that. I try my best. Wallapop. So my tip is, go to those places and look for used ones. But when you look for used ones, check out how many dings there are and how heavy the board is. When the board is already really heavy, that must be, or this is a sign that there's water already in, maybe door ding or someone got hit, they might fix it. But if it's heavy, a really heavy board, don't buy it. No, because there's probably water in it. Look how many dings there are, because a lot of dings means also don't buy it. It's There was already so much crushing and no one handled really the board so well. Or if you check for dings, check if they're professionally done. Professionally, it's really smooth or even colored, it's like not like with solar res over and it looks really clumsy. Then they did it by themselves. Selling a board is actually reversed. Selling, I would also go to those platforms, but be really honest. Don't just sell a board and like, oh yeah, get the most money out of it. No, no, no. What you should have in mind when you buy new boards, when you have a good conditions, you can sell it for at least 2/3 of the price. Longboards for sure. Yeah, if nothing happened, no dings, and you served it, at least you can buy it, sell it for around 2/3 of the price, which is quite good. Some surf shapes, even if they're really rare and from really special shapers, some surfers even buy shapes for investments. So they think, oh, this shaper, it's unique. Or Kelly Slater signed it. They're not even surfing it. They're put in the garage safely, and hopefully that the values goes up. It's also an option, like watches or so. Who knows? But buying a surfboard is really important. Go into those group, sell, or you go. This is the used market, or you go to real surf shops. But if you go to surf shops, have in mind that you know your shapes, you know your style, because some surf shops they just want to sell you a board, but they never seen you surfing. So if you tell them, oh, I'm an intermediate, they haven't seen you surfing. If, which is actually a pro tip for you, if you really want to make them understand how you surf and you have footage of yourself surfing, show them, hey, this is my surfing level. Do you really recommend it? Because a lot of surf shop owners or people who work there are real surfers. So they can be sometimes really hard, but honest. So they will say, I would recommend not this shape. This is too way high to performance. For example, the Pysail Ghost. Everyone buys the Ghost, which is the waves are not here so much in Europe. I see a lot of shortboarders have the Ghost Pysail. This is made for hollow, big pipeline waves. You know what I mean? So annoying. But I hope you don't make this mistake. I still have one, two more topics. Is first of all, before I show you one thing, is a question. If you have any questions about shapes and so, please put it here because this is live. You can ask questions. If this is still live, I think I'm still connected. 45 minutes already. Boom, boom, boom. So you see already getting a mid-length. This is my personal advice, which comes in a second. And a fish is actually the most forgiving and the most cool boards. Here, the Nose Rider from Garmendia, for example, it's a totally different style, a totally different sport. Here, you can get the MIDI for 460 euros, which is a softer material, but real fins and real core. You want to feel safe, you want to have the most fun. So, my personal advice and my personal, whoops, advice to you, wait a second, I'm here, yes, is when you have the same learning curve, which I have, like a learning surfers, you should go at least try a classic fish. Even really good coaches, not discussions, but I connect, of course, with really good surf coaches as well next to me because I want to check, hey, how do you do it? Is it really true? They all recommend go on a classic fish. What you learn with classic fish is the following: it's a lot of volume, it's thick, it's wide, so it's easy to paddle. Easy to paddle. Boom. You want to have that as a surfer who wants to progress quick because easy paddle means a lot of waves. By the way, we only talk about shoulder boarders. If you know already you are a longboarder, then just listen to it, but yeah, or understand it or tell your other surfer friend. But it's easy to paddle. You can surf it in small waves. you can train turns. And what you especially learn with classic fish is to generate speed. And speed is your friend. You can transition or take the speed technique into your shortboarding. Yeah. But other way around is not as nice, because some people think shortboarding is, they they do one movement and then the shortboard turns already. And then they think, wow, I did a radical turn. No, you didn't. But on the other hand, this is the real thing. If you can proper technical turn on a fish, you can, and the technique is right, you will. Whoa, what is this? Whoa, what did I do? You can totally destroy. Huh? What is this now? You can apply it on a short board, but not the other way around. The same if you start on a mid length. And my personal advice to you is get a classic fish or a mid length. Those kind of two shapes are the most forgiving, the most fun. You catch a lot of waves, easy to paddle. And this is, yeah, you probably won't get a pro surfer, or me. I'm not getting a pro surfer anymore. So why not choosing the right style for you, the right length, the right board, which the most fun is involved and the most progress. Because all we want is have fun and a lot of waves. You saw the different styles in the videos. You saw the different shapes, the pros and cons. My personal, but have in mind, and this is something special, if you want to learn longboarding, even from scratch, from the beginning, and you never surfed here before, maybe in this live workshop, and you think, I like classic longboarding, this is the most stylish one. Yes, you can start immediately with longboarding. You don't have to go through, oh, Daniel said I have to go first on a fish and then the mid length. And no, I never said it. You can go directly to longboarding, because the cool thing is, which I have also on my retreat in North Spain, all levels are welcome. We're more than me as a coach there, that you have a longboard as a soft top. You can start with this length. You feel already the 9.0 length, but it's a soft top. So have in mind the longboard, you can start immediately. Yo, if you have no questions, obviously, then my time is obviously almost over. By the way, you can watch this replay. All I have to say is thank you, and a big, if you want to come to one of our retreats, obviously, it would mean a lot to us. This is, by the way, North Spain here. This is no joke. Wait a second, we go in here. Up here is our house. Oh, I cannot paint it here. And this is our beach here in Gera. This is me here on the left with my own fish. You see, like keel fish. I love it. It's even glassed on keel fish. This is like a really classic. This is actually this one here. Yeah. And where I do theory, coaching, and managing. If you're still interested, we still have some space here in August for our 3 weeks. They are international here in South France in Vieux-Bourgeois. If you want to come to North Spain, we have two, it's a bit more premium. We have a big house, only 16 guests maximum. We have 2 weeks of surf and yoga retreat. So a lot of yoga and surf. It's just beautiful. And by the way, this is a real photo. I took it. It's no fake. The view is amazing. And we have afterwards, we have the longboard retreat. So if you want to learn proper longboarding, if you have any questions, you can find everything on the surfcompanions.com website, surfcompanions.com. Boom. And if you have any questions, you can also contact me via Instagram or email. And all I have to say is thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. This will be obviously a recording. I haven't seen any questions in this chat so far, so I think everything was clear. Let me know if you want a new topic, like the next live workshop. What topic should I coach you? And if I should do it more often, then let me know also in the chat. And yeah, I hope to see you in 1 hour retreats. Get the Surf Companions books, order online courses to improve your surfing. I hope you like what we're doing here with Surf Companions. It's our passion, it's our business. And yeah, I wait 5 more seconds because the chat is sometimes a bit slow. If not, I really said thank you to you. This is a recording. I send you later an email for the whole replay. Cool, Vanessa, that you joined later. Cool, Mark, that you were there. Leuk en bedankt. And no more questions. Then I see you hopefully in one of the retreats. Take care. Oh wait, I wanted to give you a small. Oh, Timmy said also thanks. Let's see. Can I show you the camera? Oh, this is my fish. Oh yeah, it's tracking my face. Those are my weights. The surf cams are here. I can't really show it. Sorry, guys. It's a bit dark. Huh? Wait. Test. I have to put this a bit more up. Huh? Can I? Oh yeah. Next time I can put it a bit up here. It looks perfect, guys. So thanks again. That was live. Nothing fake. Can't wait to coach you live in one of our retreats. If not, take care, stay healthy, and oh, wait. Where can we find the info for the info? Wait, I can send you direct info here. It's everything, by the way, the next live workshop, the books, the retreats, everything is on our website, but I will give you the direct link here. It's in North Spain. Yeah, it's a huge garden. I look so much forward. We have premium chefs with us, 2 vegan chefs from Plantitious Bliss. You come out the water, you get immediately like a nice protein shake. We have barista coffee with us, of course, tea as well. It's really premium. It's the location itself. We have a view onto, just click on a link. It's nothing fake. I did all the photos and videos like always, almost always. And is there a topic you want to talk about? I would be here for another 5 minutes. Maybe an option. So Vanessa, maybe you're coming or what? If you have questions to the retreat, you can also direct DM me on Instagram. I'm still managing. So thank you. Okay, big thank you, guys. Thanks, and let me know. Write me an email, comment on this video down below, or on Instagram DM what kind of topic you want to see next. Thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it, because time is the most valuable thing. Bye bye.